Yes, embrace the madness. The madman comes.
Well. 2026. Hello, Mad Ones. First time we've actually had a chance to talk this year, or be seen, or anything like that. I hope you all are doing well. Thank you for showing up. I know it's been a minute, and I needed a break. And thank you for being patient with the process. Hopefully, none of you are frozen, since most of us were, or have been. Hello, Satarius. Thank you for being here. And anybody else that might be watching, thank you as well for showing up. So, tonight, what are we going to be doing? Well, I have been showing you guys different things in different videos, shorts, things like that. And I think I'm going to stick in that same aesthetic, right? So I'm going to show you guys a couple of my little techniques. Not a teaching video, but I want to show you some stuff as I go along, okay? So that way, you might pick up on something. And on top of that, I get to show you something. We get to have a good time. It's all pencil and pen tonight. I don't feel like painting. I've done enough last year of painting that I'm only going to be working on a few things. 3 right now. Those 2, the Terminator and the Commission. So, I'm not doing any painting tonight. It's all sketching and drawing, so I hope you enjoy. So let's go on ahead and get over here to the table, shall we? And I'll see you there. Oh man, that was crazy. How far of a distance we had to go for that. Yeah, so I know that I told some of you in the Discord, if you're not on the Discord, well, we're going to get that fixed because I'll probably post that up here on the top in a bit. Maybe. I don't know. But the Patreon is something that I'm working on this year, so I think a lot of stuff will be going over there. Teaching, I want to show you guys some teaching. I'll figure out a fair way to do that because I can show you simple things, but the more in-depth way of like how I draw and how I do certain things, wanted to kind of show you that. Plus, that would help fund this channel since, you know, I'm an independent person doing independent things. But that's just me talking out loud. So, first thing I want to do is I want to draw the whole picture the way that I did before, like I did on the tutorial. So I want to use circles and different things like that. Just a simple character. And I'm also going to show you guys different perspective, foreground, background, that kind of stuff like I have in the past. But we're going to show a little bit different with some ink and how I use calligraphy ink, and it's a little bit different than other people. But it may be beneficial for you. So I'm going to turn on some music and let's get to it, shall we? Hopefully it's not too blurry. That's good. So how's everybody's year so far? Everybody having a good time? So I'm going to do is make it an action scene, someone running. So I want to start with the hand first. Kind of get the idea of where we're going. And I'm just going to use very light lines. Not going to go too heavy on them. Creature of habit, I almost started without using the technique. Whoops. There we go. So use the same little body structure, right? There we go. And then we'll extend the leg out. Cool, so that's where we're going to have that. And we can do this. I like to do that for like the center of the chest for myself. And then we got the head. See, what I'm going to do here is use the top line to kind of draw it away right here. So all you're doing is making a very flat triangle, right? Not very peaked, but more straight across and down, and then just plateau. And you want it to be about the same distance, right? Because that way it'll make sense in the shot depending on what you're trying to do. So you can do different stuff like that, right? There we go. So just making simple lines here, and as you can see, got the little structure there. So that's kind of the background, and then from here we can kind of manipulate what we want for the foreground, because all we're doing is just bringing it down. So there we go. I'm gonna have that be like a case or something important. Right. And this will be kind of like a platform. Right. There we are. Got one there. Support beam there. Right. And then from here, it has some railing. Have that drop down. A staircase kind of situation. And there we go. And from here, just put a couple of lines, and then you got yourself a background structure like that. Whoops. That's okay. Fix that with the pen. There we go. Got a little bit there, Hey, Dimitri, good to see you. I don't even know what kind of audio I got. Hey, there we go. I just grabbed the Mega Mix, turned it on. I didn't even know if it was going to act right today or not. But thank you for showing up. Glad that you guys are here. So yeah, I'm just doing some quick little sketch here. Uh-oh. Guess that was my phone, telephone. Decided to fall off my desk. Anyways, I was nuking something to eat. Now I'm sitting here watching it. I am showing a little bit of perspective, and also using the whole circle and tube technique that I showed in the earlier video. I'm showing all that put together. So as you can see, there's people running down what looks to be like a situation up here, and I'm gonna put a whole bunch of rubble, right? A whole situation up here. That's blown. guy's having a terrible time. He got caught all in that blast, so he's in the air, right? And you can just, something simple just to resemble something going on, right? And see, when you're getting further away, all you need is just a shape that resembles what you were technically looking at. That's M7? Okay. Mistype, probably. There we go. Cool, so we got that many. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people. So now, what are we going to do for how the guy looks? What are we going to do here? Well, let's see. I have a jacket, nothing too crazy. Maybe suit, some kind of espionage mess, right? Or actually, I'll tell you what, this is something, an opportunity I can do something. So I want to show you what light sketching I want to do here to reflect clothes being burned. Right, I'm doing this rough squiggle so I know where I'm going to put the sharp lines, right? So we're going to do that. And everybody's not happy because they find out this man's not a man, but he's a bot. Music is on. Thank you. Yeah, I just turned the Mega Mix on. Figured, why not just let it run? So who knows what the next song could be. Could be some kind of sound effect. Could be something I did. Could be something got from somewhere else. Who knows? That's the fun of the Mega Mix, because I have everything there. Oh yeah, there we go. So there's that. Now I want to show you, since hey Jesse, how you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for popping in. So I hope in this part here I'm going to explain how I do my robots. So I use this similar shape, especially if I'm doing more humanoid, right? So I want to use this here and make this more of a humanoid bot looking thing, kind of like a cyborg deal. I mean, not as much. Maybe the head, I might do something cool with that. But explosion. He's running away with the case. And obviously, whatever skin he had is gone. So it's not going to be grim. It's going to be tasteful, right? So let's see here. We're going to do old-fashioned gear arm. I've been watching some of my early 90s anime. Been back into that. Oh yeah, here we go. Ooh, look at this arm. And see, when you're making robots, you want to think of joints, right? Jointed areas. Let's see, I'm going to hit shuffle. I'm going to hit a 3. 1, 2, 3. Uh-oh. Oh, what's this? All right. Let's see your endurance of handling my monotone voice, because I don't know what this song is. So the sound of it sounds like something lo-fi. So I got the joint here for the arm, and then I want to put this line here. So when I come back through with the pen, it's going to be able to brighten this up, make this a little bit darker. How I like to do things is I like to do all the sharp lines first. Some people like to do all the squiggles and everything. I like to do the sketch lightly, but emphasize darker areas that I want to put more detail in, like the arm. For example, the shoulder, I want to put a little bit more detail there. Like there's a coupler, right? And then there will be this piece here. There we go, right? And then I'm going to bring this piece down and then back up and then around here for the chest. So I got that, that's a sharp line, and then we'll do side panel. And then I'll come back and figure this out. We'll do something light here and then leg, right? And all this will be like smoky. Pants leg will be half blown off. I'm thinking about, you know, something like cyberpunk, espionage, you know, kind of a situation. Like, ship lands, he grabs the case, set up, it explodes, he grabs, he's running, trying to get out of there, you know. I've also been reading a lot of novels. I've been on the audiobook kick since I've been away, and you know, reading a lot of different types of not all fantasy, you know, fiction usually, but it's been nice. Definitely helped with getting the imagination back up and going. There we go. Powerful striking run. Now this arm situation, I'm thinking about changing that. So I'm going to make this leg a little bit more jettison out. There we go. So then I can bring this piece here. There. And then we will coupler there. And then get to the knee, and then we'll socket the knee right there. Here. And then we'll bring this piece here. And that's where we'll showcase the thigh, undercarriage part here to the next leg, and then the knee here. Socket it right there we go, like that. Bang. And then we bring this piece down, up, like that, and then I'm probably going to round that back here down to the foot. There we go. Like he's about to jump. That's where the focal point is at, like he's getting ready to leap. Yeah, there we go. So we're going to get this line here. Oh, by the way, you might be wondering, Mel, why don't you use a ruler? Here, let me explain to you. I crushed it, right? I was doing some stuff, cleaning up some things, moving things around, and I heard a crunch. Lo and behold, I stepped on my ruler and crushed it. It happens, you know. And this is where this whole like optical illusion is going to happen, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to make this feel very, very high up. Oh man, my hand's in a weird position. Hold on. Let's see. Push this up some. So I'm gonna try to draw like a industrial train, right? Very boxy. You know, if you want to do things futuristic, sharp, hard angles, you know, you don't. It doesn't have to be soft. It's very rigid. You know, boxy. You can do sleek if you decide to. If you want to do more fantasy, more of a science fiction fantasy type deal, you can do that by softening it up, circles, you know, not so hard boxy lines. So let's see, we got the shape of the train, right? And then from here, all we gotta do is that, this. Get the ink, will be taken care of there. And then let's see here. Make sure that this is understood that this is a platform and I have lights, you know. Okay. Alright, so you can do the next part I'm about to do here. You can do this part with a calligraphy pen. You can do this part with whatever that you want to. At this junction, most people, they might want to do a little bit more detail with it, like for the head. Exactly, I'm not going to do much detail because I want to show you something different also, how you can just do this with just plain ink. You don't have to have something there, so you can get past the, you know, being intimidated by I don't know, you know, because that's not going to help you with art. That's just resistance, right? You're going to have to break past that because there's really no right or wrong way to do art. It's all by interpretation and what you see with your mind when someone creates that. There's fundamental ways of doing things, but you know, like how to make a circle or squares, proper ways of doing stuff. But other than that, just have fun with it. That's what I've learned over this month of being just doing art because I wanted to do it, not because I'm trying to keep up with the algorithm or trying to outpace something, just enjoying it for what it is, creativity, right? So have fun with it, create, you know. I hope that you pick up something from this and, you know, don't feel like, oh man, I can't do what the madman can do. Yeah, you can. Anybody can do it. If you can tie your shoes, you can draw, but I don't know, some people can't tie their shoes. I guess that's why they made Velcro shoes, right? What do I know? I'm going to get back to art. Okay. So what we're going to do here is basically finish. We're going to do some dark lines with this. The calligraphy pens are a little bit different. I prefer to use these two. They're basically a little bit larger of a tip, and this one is more of a detail, right? I like to use them for thicker lines and more detailed lines, of course, but also you can use them for different stuff, sharper, bolder edges. That's why I like to use them on paintings. It's a very intense pain to do so, but I want to make this background darker So that way we know what we're working with here. You want to apply just simple pressure. You don't want to push too hard, right? You want just enough to be able to make a line. And the funny thing is that using one of these type of pins actually makes you a little bit more sharper, and your mind actually locks in, because the fact of it being, I guess, ink, and knowing that you can't erase it kind of puts your mind in a fight or flight kind of scenario, but not to the extreme point of like danger. You know, it forces you to kind of just allow yourself to just be in that moment, which is a good thing, which you should do if you're doing art. Just be in the moment. Don't try to think too much. I think too much, and that's why I was having a hard time with it. Now I'm not thinking at all, and I'm having a great time. I just don't care, because I enjoy doing it, and you should too. Just enjoy doing it. Now, the interesting thing is that there's also different ways of being able to use this. Normally you have to hold it in an angle to be able to get it to open up the tip of the nib, which is this. The technical name is nib, but if you want to actually open the tip of that, you have to hold it in a certain way for it to be able to do so. Pushing too hard makes a thicker line. Tilting it on its side and pulling a little bit different gives you a different type of line structure. So when you understand that, you can kind of just get crisp lines by just doing simple things like tilting it and barely touching it. And then you get things like this where you can just kind of manipulate, and it looks great. You see? Yeah, I like that. Let's go on ahead and get this man out of the way, because he's already gone, right? I'm just going to go in and do this part real quick, and now I'll explain fire over here, because I just want this part to dry. So I know you might be thinking, geez, Mel, why? Well, you exploded, right? Like, you know, you have to keep consistency. But I'm not going to make it like grim. I'm doing it this way like I would do it if I was trying to, you know, if I was doing like a comic or something in that order. You know, make it dark enough where you know what's going on, and then you got the, you know. There we go. Boom. Right? That blast is pretty intense, so we got... And that's okay to do that, like a stick figure, if they're really, really far away. You don't have to put a lot of detail into them. It's not necessary. You just want it to be a little, just enough to know that, okay, your eye can basically see what's going on, follow the action, right? You already know what's going on with that guy. There's no reason to overdo it for him. He's already in the same shape. Now we can come over here and fix the railing. And this is where you would make it a little bit thicker coming down, right? You wanted to, because of the structure, you wanted to have more of a heavier line set. But you don't want to go too crazy, because you don't want it to look bizarre. But I'm going to save you that because that's for the end of the show. I don't want to give you that away. Alright, here we go. Now, I'm getting close to a point where I can use the detail pen. Goes right around here. But I want to get this. That's another structure. Just get the structure out of the way. But the thing I want to show you, Mad Ones, before the end of the show is I want to show you how to make your own character head. Simple way to make a character head, so that way you guys can make your own character. And that will be cool to see. There we go. And I know what you're thinking. I cannot draw a mill. I can't do this. I can't do that. You know, that's no behavior. Give it a shot. Give it a try. You'll be surprised what you can do. You know, I taught myself how to draw. You know, God-giving gift kind of deal. And if I can do it, you can do it. Oh, that's silly, Mel. I can't. Yeah, you can. That's why I'm fortunate that I can do this, because I like to show people. At least that's my mission this year, is to try to inspire someone to pick up art. I don't care if, you know, it'd be nice if the channel can get big, but if it doesn't and someone just learns how to, I don't know, hell, they might be having something going on in their life, or they might need some kind of stress relief or something to give them hope for another day, and maybe art might be the inspiration that they need. So cool, that's fine. I don't want to be all, you know, get into that crazy mess with YouTube. It seems like it's not the place to be anymore. So, but you know, we can create our own thing somewhere else, doing the same stuff, just talking out loud. Now you see here is where all those squiggly lines are going to come into understanding, right? So clothes have been charred, right? Everything's just tattered, okay? Whole outfit's burnt. I'm gonna leave these here so I can just, you know, do that. There we go. Another thing too to keep in mind if you're using a calligraphy pen, especially using one that's more of a detailed type pen, is that you want to be careful with how hard you press on it. The narrower the tip, the easier it is to either bend it out of proportion where it doesn't hold ink, or you can end up warping it and it can spill ink all over the place. So be careful with that if you decide that you want to go this route, and try this out. And it's the same type of calligraphy kit that you would get for basically writing. You can get a small one that comes with a couple of nibs. I think like 10-12 bucks at the lobby of hobbies, if you want to go there. I'm not going to give a shout out because I'm not going to get paid, so that's silly. But either there or, you know, anywhere that you can find a calligraphy pen online, somewhere like that. There we go. There we go. Also, you want to make sure that the ink doesn't dry out. So there's nothing wrong with keeping it moist with you know, a small drop of water. But also, depending on what type of ink you're using, acrylic calligraphy ink is really great. That's what I use. That's what I like to use. Now, some people might say, "Oh, that's not the best," you know, to each his own, but that's what I like to use. That's what I've been using the whole time. That's what I've used on my paintings. Now, I've recently, for paper, I've been using more of the traditional manga style ink. So that ink is a little bit different. You know, it's my no behavior is saying it's too hard for me to draw. Yeah, don't fall into the no behavior. No is resistance. You can. It's intimidating to do new things. It's rough. Sometimes it sucks. But, you know, this is something that can be a beneficial skill. People don't understand that the ability to just not even be a fool, like, oh man, I can do a Picasso, but to be able to sketch, at least sketch something out, is a useful tool. Because sometimes you might be describing something to someone and they don't fully understand, and you can say, let me just, it looks like this, and they're like, oh, I know exactly what you're talking about. I have used that. Real life story, RL story from myself. I had to use a drawn diagram of a part for a AC unit before. I sketched it out because I'd never seen anything like it, so I went on ahead and did that, and guy knew exactly what we needed. And it was wonderful, and you know, I think that was one of those moments that I'm glad that I knew how to do that. You know, and simple sketches may be important or beneficial in the future for you or anyone else. You know, you might have to describe something. What did that look like? What was that? You know, nothing weird, just in general. There we go. What song is next? I have absolutely no idea. Oh. Well, that fits this aesthetic very well. So we're gonna make that just leave that. I don't care. There we go. Silly royalty-free music. One of these days, I guess. I don't know. It'd be nice if YouTube would let people use like different music sometimes. Well, they practically own everything. Oh, I was getting tired of it. See if this is any different. Oh boy, that jack is still on fire, and the pants. Let's see. Alright, there we go. What's next? Not feeling no space opera music. No. Hey, that's good. That works. Here we go. go. Alright, so for here, just gonna make it a little squiggled out, but into a sharp line at the tip. You know, fire is always jettisoning out, curved, and but for an explosion, of course, you have to have the jettison part of the action. Doesn't have to be too absurd. You can do it that way. Just there we go. Hello, Asmodeus. Yes, indeed, I am back. I am back indeed. Break was good. Break was good. I know the perspective of this is looking weird, but I want the arm to look like it's been damaged. This arm is damaged, right? It was like he grabbed the case, it exploded, the arm locked in place. So, with them running, is dangling back. None of this is good. Nothing good's going on here for this robot. sparks, right? Because it's electronic, right? Got hit, blaster, you know, this guy's wildly shooting or running, zap, bang, you know. Seems like you guys missed me a little bit. Did you miss me a little bit? I miss being here. I can't lie. Been doing this for so long. Been almost, I think this is year 4 or 5. Been doing this for a long time. I have a good feeling this year. I have a feeling things will be different this year. Alright. So that's basically it with the pen. Ah, hello, Duchess. Yeah, see, that's the cool part about the ink. It does make it pulls everything out more, right? And it makes it more bolder. It makes the scene a little bit sharper, you know. Like when I put more detail, you know, like scuffs, things like that, you know, you kind of, it just pulls it out more. And this ink specifically, because it's manga style ink, it's got a different type of pigment, and it being darker, especially when you're laying it on thicker, and I like that. So I'm gonna fix this whole cityscape down here. Yes. Yeah, I know the facility went crazy, I heard. But you know, sometimes you gotta just let it be what it is, right? But I heard, and I thank you guys, you know, that's sweet. You know, I will say sometimes you have to take a break. Sometimes you have to recharge. You'll go mad. Also, another thing too, if you do decide to use the well, it's more of a Japanese style of the calligraphy ink. Ooh, that water had something else in it. I think it had a different type of cleaner in it. Oh, that was not good water at all. That was a bad idea. Okay. That did nothing that I wanted it to do. So, alternative number 2. Oh no, they never escaped. No, of course not. No, I mean we had a power situation. See, like I mentioned before, you know, the woods behind the madhouse is full of all the Dr. Matt's Creations. You guys, I showed you a picture of them. You guys got to see some time lapse of them. Yeah, that man with the robotic eyes. Yeah, him. He puts stuff out, all out there in the back facility. So if you do get out, if you by some chance find your way up to the roof, or I say the roof, but since it's like the house sits on top of it, if you can make yourself to the actual madhouse and get out. But if you go out the back way and you run out in the woods, there's all kinds of creatures. You don't know what you might find out there, what might find you, or what's been watching you the entire time. Well, if you run outside of the blue candlelight, you're gone. So take your chances. So yeah, we don't have many people try to escape the facility to make sure they're here for long-term care. And I don't mean long-term like they can't leave. No, they can always leave, but they just have to get right first, and for whatever reason they just never can get right. They're always saying, "Sir, we need more," and Mr. Smiles always likes to make sure people are happy. So, it's always saying smile on the wall and wear your hug coat. So, I mean, some people just don't want to take their coats off. I also got a new microphone since the last time we were here. Or, I should say, the video I've made for the show you how to draw like I do. I really did not like the sound of the microphone. It was horrid, and I know some people may not have liked that, and I hated that. But you can only do what you can do. You can't fix everything. You can't do everything all the time. So I didn't have one then, but now I do, and I hope it sounds better. There we go. What song will be next? Oh boy. Not too bad. No, it's not either. It's actually a robot that blew up a copter, or like a hovercraft. It exploded. And then he grabbed a case. His arm got damaged, and he got shot, and the detonator got hit by a blaster, and he's going to have to jump. And that's the city below. All of that's the city below. So that's where he's jumping off towards. And I don't know if he'll survive, but what I wanted to show is the difference in perspective and how I created all of that by using circles and different things, and also how I was able to use that for a robot. Now, I know that looks a little weird, and the perspective looks like the body's twisted, because how this would happen if this was in full motion is that you would just see this get hit, and then him getting ready to go, and the scene would drag on to this guy in more detail, because he would take another shot, and then it would probably blow his leg, and then he would stumble and fall, and some other crazy stuff would happen. know, you got the hup men over here. They're all running down all fast, right? There we are. There we go. Alright. That's good enough. How much time we got? Yeah, we got enough time for me to teach you guys how to draw something different. We can do it here. There we go. And we got our picture, just like that. Cool. Oh, that's right. Can't leave it without the other part. Sorry. Hold on. That's right. You guys would be all upset if I didn't at least, you know, put a little bit of something, right? Alright, so let me find my other pencil. Where did it go? Oh no. Well, I know what I do need. Change to something, I guess. Now. didn't feel like that either. There we go. Oh, that's your jam? Thank you. Alright, so got that done. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Now we can show you guys how to draw a head in a hole. Nice. Got you dancing. I like that. Now I'm going to show you how to draw a head and make your own character, right? So, simplest thing is this. We're going to do oval shape shoulders, right? And then from there, I'm going to do two of them. I'm going to do a male and a female. Simplest thing, okay? So, and to get like proportion and stuff, I want to show this so this way you can understand like how you want to do proportion. There we go. So we got the man, and then we got now females. I usually make about the same, you know. Only thing that's different is the neckline. I make that a little bit different, kind of sleeker, you know. And the shoulders are kind of drape them down. Okay, so once you get this and you have this here, you don't have to go much further than here, and then bring your arms down, right? The female character, you just round them over here, and then the other difference is also bust line and then regular chest, right? I don't even know what's coming up on this song, but once you have that, I'm going to change it. So, you don't have to do much here. You just want something. So you can just do a simple line there, simple line here, right? That's just a forward-facing character. Female characters, you can just do a semicircle and then the semicircle. I know this L shoulder's a little bit offset, but I will fix it to make it look in proportion. See, that's what happens with that. Now, bust lines, you can also change it. It doesn't have to always be large, but you do need the shoulder for it to be in perspective, right? So make sure you have a shoulder. You can always come back and fix it, right? If you want it to be larger, you can do it that way. If you want it to be smaller, you can do it this way. There's also, you can do this little, looks like the beginning part of a Y, but you can do it right there after the C. Make a little adjacent, so you can have a divot, which is basically the armpit. So if you want that to be a guideline, it would basically be right there. So once you get this done, we'll do the T shape for your head. In proportion or anything like that, you can just change it, right? Everything can be changed. You want his cheek to be big. You want his, I don't know, you want the side of his head to have a flare and something come out, or you want to do horns. You know, everything is, you can shape it however you want to, but that's the standard. And then, of course, you can make it larger and shorter. But, you know, for a simple character, you'll have your normal T shape. But I'm going to do a little bit more in depth than that. So normally it would just be center of your face, eye line, nose, mouth. But I want to do hairline too, right? Hairline in proportion to ears. Ears and eyes are going to be at the same place. So this right here is your hairline. Then you have the main cross part of the T here, which would be where your eyes are at. You can also just go on ahead and make your ear there. Just get it out of the way. If you already got the T for it and you know if you want to do human ears, fine. If you want to do elf ears, same thing, going to be based. You know, however you want to do that. But what I'm going to do is a standard person today. So I'm not going to do no elves tonight. So we're going to stick with just a basic, normal human character, right? Nothing too crazy. So we got ear here. You know, all you have to do is a semicircle for the ear. It's in proportion. There we go. You got your nose, which would be right about here. And then you can do your mouth right about there. Same thing, female face. But this will be different because, you know, female faces are a little bit different. So you might have to do, you have probably a hairline we could do here. Eye line be here. We'll do this and that. And then once we get finished with that part, you know, you have your eyes, you have your nose, and then your lips. And then you can adjust the chin or the face however you want to. There we go. If you're doing a picture without, definitely do the collarbone. I like to do this little shape here so it keeps the chest in proportion. Same thing with the female characters too. I like to also put that there. Keep it in proportion with the breastbone, right? So that way you have cleavage control there if you want to do that, or you have pictorial definition, you know where to line up. It all lines up here. And there you go, you got the basis of a character. You got the basis of a character that you can use for character sheet if you're playing Dungeons and Dragons or any type of game like that, or if you wanted to do a story and you want to get like an idea of what you want them to look like, you can do this just to do it. And like I said, you know, doing your character hairline can go all the way to here. You wanted to just basically be able to connect at some point there, right? So you can change it up if you want it to be that way, or you know, something funky, but you wanted it to connect to the ear, and you can change that however you want to. Same thing with female characters. You want it to connect to the ear. It can just be swooped up like this, or even if it's like, you know, like that. You know, you can do it either way. But this is how we're going to do it for their characters, just like this. Now I'm going to erase the top, and then there we go. So we got the top erased, and now we can do something funky with the hair. Bottom part here also, base of the neck. You gotta think of the hairline being about there. If it's going to be short, it'll be about here. Same thing with the men. It'll be at the base of the neck, right? Somewhere there. You can go lower if you want to, but in most cases, it'll be about up here, right? So then you can, from here you can do many different things, you know. So even if you want to do something funky like that, or if you want to get it real wild, I know someone might be like, "Why would you do hair like that?" I don't know. What kind of imagination do you have? What kind of character did you want it to make? But you know, you can do that. That's your hairline. That's what you can do. You can do anything as long as it can connect in the back, right? So have as much fun as you want to. Now, when we get up here, eyebrows up top, right? You can, even if you want to put a gesture, right? Eyebrows on top, eyeballs on the bottom. And you got all this room to play, even if you want to make like a large, ridiculous eyeball, like something like that. Or if you wanted to be a little bit more traditional, you can do this as well. You know. See, so you can do many different things there. And then, you know, as for the female characters, the same thing. Lips are a little bit different. Right there. I'm gonna do on the nose there. Yeah, like that. Or you can do crazier eyes. Like, for example, if you want to do a robotic eye, you can do that. I hope that explains some things for you guys. Yeah, there we go. Now, and that's good for like a front facing view. You can do many different things, right? You can add clothes at this point, you know, like, oh, he wears a jacket, he's a damn desperado, you know, he's got a poncho on, or whatever the case you want, you know, and then you can, you know, you can shape it up however you want to. Oh, she's got a nice dress, look, you know, ruffles, or, you know, oh, it's half cut, whatever. So I hope that explains how to make a character. Side view, same thing. Side angle is pretty much the same ordeal. You know, you want a side angle of them. Basically, what you're going to do is one half of the egg instead of doing the whole thing, and then you're going to just do enough just so that way you have kind of like a jawline. If you want to be a little bit more in depth with it, you can get kind of, you know, shaping it up. Like there's the chin, jaw, nose supposed to be here. But I would say this is something to just practice on. You don't be discouraged if you don't get the first time. This took me time to be able to get this. You might get it first time, and if you do, cool. And if you don't, it's okay. You know, side angle. There you go. Hairline, right? I like to do that. Hairline to the ear. Ear is about there. It ain't the best ear, but it's there. Same thing with the T. It applies here, right? Eyebrow, eyes, nose, mouth. Right. And depending on how you have your eyes set up, usually it's like this, right? From this angle. There. See? That's about it. Same thing applies over here. And then do a side angle this way. And if you want to do it where you can follow, once you get used to and familiar, you can do things like that. And let's say she has elf ears. Right. It would be something like this. Back of the head, neck, shoulder, neck, right? Eyebrow. And remember, same thing applies to the V in the back of the neck, right? With the hairline. then you can do things like that, right? And then, so yeah, I hope that was able to help you guys maybe make some better characters, maybe kind of explore with making characters, trying them out, different things like that. So hopefully that was helpful. Let's see. Oh boy. Well, normally we stay a little bit longer, but since I'm getting back into the swing of it, I think this will probably be a good place to stop right now for tonight. So I think I showed a pretty decent amount. Let's see what's going on over here. Oh man, it's really dark. Dang, darker than I thought. Jeez. Anyways, I hope you all enjoyed this show tonight, especially coming back after being gone for a little bit of time. Definitely hit that subscribe button and like and share and all that fun stuff. Check out the rest of the content I create. You can check me out on different platforms as well. I hope that that was beneficial for some of you mad ones, that you may have learned something today. And if you did, that's great. And if you didn't, then maybe you can explore it later, and it might be something that you can try new this year, and be able to, I don't know, broaden your horizons or something. So yeah, chat's open. We got a little bit of time. I can just ramble. Nuclear Nuisance made it. Hello, thank you for popping in. I'm glad to see that you made it. Yes, also. So yes. So yeah, chat's open. I'm just here. We can talk. Got a little bit of time, or we can cut loose. It's up to you. I leave it up to the people in the ward to have an opportunity. Free therapy. If you want to ask Mel a question about art or something like that, feel free. Or not. It's open. Clickety clack. I can hear the keys typing. And if I just lean farther back over here, then my head disappears. Right? It's just completely gone in the dark. I love it. The void of space and time. I mean, I guess I could just flashbang everybody with some light. Bam, there it is. So you can see what's going on. All that fun jazz happening back here. So, yeah. This was fun getting back into the swing of it. So, here's this new schedule. What's going to be going on. Me and the Duchess are taking a master gardening class, and is basically a master gardener. It will be master gardener soon, so that's going to be fun. So what's going on with that? Oh, hello, Angela. Always learning something. See, I'm always what have you learned new? Share. I'm curious. What have you learned new? I tell you what we're learning. We're going to learn how to different types of soil, pesticide, or natural ways of growing things, fruits and vegetables. That's what I want. And I guess trees, things in that nature. So it's fun. It's something different. I wanted to do something different. I wanted to do something that was out of my norm. So we did. And I think this is going to be great. Now, the only thing is on Thursdays. So I may or may not be able to be on at normal time on Thursday. I want to try it out. Because at some point, we have to do field trips. Meaning that we're going to go somewhere else and do some type of something in the spring. So that might be a change. But as normal schedule, I'm going to be here Sundays, Tuesdays, like usual. Nothing has changed with that. Just going to be doing more digital stuff on Tuesdays. And I'm going to be working on comics. I want to work back on my craft of being an illustrator and doing comics. So you're going to get to see me do stuff. You're going to get to see some of my shorts that I'm going to be doing this year. I wanted to attempt some new things. I'm not going to talk too loudly because somebody might be over there killing a chicken and eating, whatever, trying to put no behavior into the air. No, I'm being silly now, or am I? I don't know. But no. Anyways, I'm not going to tell too much because there's some things I'm working out. But I will say that I'm getting back into doing comic books. Plus, I'm doing something for somebody that is for a good cause. So they want me to do a small story for someone who was for a child that is sick. So I'm going to be doing that, but I'm not sharing that. I don't think it would be right for me to share that. They want that to be a personal thing, but that's something that made me want to get back into the comics. So I wanted to take some illustrations that they had and make a story out of it. Um, so yeah, that's great. And then somebody else wanted me to do a tattoo design, and that's something too. Some different type of content also. I have decided I want to try my hand at, I guess, some fake skin, and I want to try to piddle with seeing what will happen with me doing tattoos. People have been begging me for that, so I don't know. Why not? It's like it doesn't cost that much to get a setup, a starting set with some fake skin just to see. I mean, you know, what would be the difference? If I am, then I get to maybe put that on people's flesh, which I don't know if anybody would want a mad male piece on their body. I mean, who would want that? Who really wants that? What do you have here? I'm learned that there are different types of tools, brushes, tips, and different types of paint strokes. Wow, you have been paying attention. I am impressed. If I had gold stars, I would give them, but I don't. So I can't give any gold stars because I don't have any gold stars. But if I had a gold star, you earned a gold star today. So let's give it up for Angela. She got a gold star because she learned some stuff from the show. I'm actually happy. I hope others have too. I'm not being silly. I'm just, that's actually good. And people paying attention. I don't know. I've been doing this seriously for, I don't know, 15, 20 years, something like that. I'm 41 now. So what? I don't care. Yeah, I made it 41. My birthday. Woo. Yeah. So I've been doing this a long time. I've been doing this literally half my life for a real serious half of my life. So, yeah, I think I've kind of perfected my style. Now there's a certain angle that I like, and I would cater towards that. I like the 45-degree angle, top, down, left, or right. Something about that angle is just really nice. I like that. It gets a different perspective of the face. But I also like that and like doing long shots. So I cater to those. It's not that I'm just limited to that. That's just something I like to do, me personally. Um, the and that was between pizza and fries. Oh, okay. Well, hey, that's cool. So, Angela learned something today. Some of you other mad ones learned something. Anybody else got something to throw in the chat? If not, I don't know. I guess I'm going to boogie on out and maybe play a game. Play something. Because taking breaks. Oh, motivational word. I will give you guys this. I'm not going to go too far into it with this, but I will give you some motivation from myself, from my time. I guess I will share my experience, testimony, whatever you want to call it, while I've been away. I realized at the beginning of me not doing anything in January was more of I was so frustrated from the year before, from 25. There was a lot of opportunities that popped up that I didn't handle properly. Not in a bad way, just didn't understand the process. Now I understand a little bit better. Being in live shows and going to live events are very difficult because you're dealing with people and people don't all understand art. Not everybody is equipped for the ability to be able to understand that. It's a perspective, a personal perspective. You seeing something, and then if you feel an emotion or if you feel an attachment to it, that's a personal thing. Not everybody is drawn to art that way. So me having this experience being around different people, I was starting to understand it wasn't the fact that my work wasn't good. I know that I'm a good artist. Some people may disagree. That's your own personal opinion. But I know that I've been doing it for as long as I have, and I think that I've done quite well, and I think that my art style has been perfected. It is my style that I do. Now, not everybody's going to enjoy that. It may unnerve some people. I know that some of my work, if you have something going on psychologically, it will unthread you like a ball of yarn. It'll grab that thread and just unravel you. Not my fault, but it's, well, maybe it is. I don't know. Maybe my art plays on the subconscious more than I know. Maybe I'm a madman in that way. Who knows? But I will say that the process of things, I have patience is really it. Trying to have patience, trying to learn, trying to understand that, having patience with myself with my technique, doing new stuff, not trying to be about the trend, but be about what I want my brand, what I want my thing to be. And I'm not talking about brand like I'm trying to sell myself like a business, but what is it that I want to do? And the thing that I want to do is I want to show people how to do art. I taught myself because I was told that I sucked. And I basically said, kiss my ass. I know that I have a skill and a talent and a gift that was given to me that is beyond human comprehension. And that's fine. And what I want to do is show people that it's doable and that anybody can do it. And you don't have to go to a school to be able to do it. Now, if you want to refine your craft, I mean, you can go to a school and that'd be fine. There's nothing wrong with it. But you don't have to be able to do something that we naturally are able to do. No, I can't draw. We all are able to do something creative, So that's what I want to do. I want to share what I have taught myself with other people, and do the type of stuff I want to do. What I'm going to start with is that I'm going to do some X-Men characters. Now, some people might be upset with how I'm going to do them, but I want them to look like myself. I want them to have this type of skin tone. If that bothers your ass, then I guess I'll see you later, right? But that's what I want to do. And that's what I'm going to do Tuesday. First one I'm going to do is Gambit. That's the first one. I'm going to do Remy LeBeau. I'm going to do Remy that's more of a melanated Remy. Now, you may not like it, and if you don't, then like I said, it ain't for you. But I want to see what that will look like because I've never done that before. But I have an idea. So if you want to see what that looks like, then that's perfectly fine. Now, not for anything special than that. I didn't even really think about doing this because of the month, so you guys can chill out on that too. I just want to do something fun. Also, on top of that, probably I'm going to do some more robots, like mechs. I like doing robots, but I want to show you guys how to do robots if you're interested in learning robots. I'll show you some more stuff with that and just scenery and paint. We're just going to have fun this year. Just going to do whatever we want to and have fun. And you can join me if you would like to as well and hang out too. So I'm done with that part. Motivational part out of all of that. The takeaway is be patient with yourself in the process. I'm still learning how to do that. Be patient. And sometimes, sometimes it's good to take a break from things, especially if you're grinding too hard on it. And that is anything. That's everything in life. Some people might say, well, I need this or I need that or I don't have a choice. Well, you can either love what you do, tolerate what you do, or hate the thing that you love to do. And I think hating what you love to do is a criminal thing. So, just be patient with yourself. And if you're trying to do new things with art or anything new, be patient with yourself with that too. All right, so I'm out of here. And the ending is still the same. So if you don't like it, because it might be a little weird because I put it together, this is the best time for you to go on ahead and boogie on out. So I gave you a warning. I will see you Tuesday, same time, same place, 8 p.m. Central Time. And we're going to be working on something. I might actually do some color editing like I did with the Project Goggles. I might actually do that and let you guys see what I do live with that on Tuesday. And then whenever I get done with it, I'll post the actual completed thing as a time lapse. So We'll have fun with that. Peace and blessings. Thank you. You too as well. Don't forget to hit that like, share, subscribe button. Share. Let people see what I'm doing. Spread the word. You know, Patreon's going to be up soon, so there'll be more lessons and different things like that once I can get things in order. Haven't had much time to do that. I just literally took a break and didn't do nothing with that. But there's going to be some things there. So it's going to be beneficial. I think I'm only going to do it for a cheap little price. I don't want much. It's just to keep this going, get better equipment. It's all funding. That's what the Patreon is going to be for. It's funding this operation. Paints, cameras. I want a better camera, better speakers, stuff like that. Is to help that out. So, anyways, or you guys can go to the Etsy store. I have posters up. I got other posters I'm going to make. I'm just selling posters. That's all. My artwork is just going to be posters. I got some stuff up. I'm working with pricing. You know how that stupid shit goes. So if you want to support the channel, go there. There's options. I don't know if it's there, but it's in the link tree at the bottom. So yeah, glad to be back. I'll see you guys soon. Let's embrace the madness like we always do, right? I'll see you later. Bye.